I think I'm like falling from the sky like 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 a balloon that you
Right. I completely understand. Yes, of course. Uh-huh.
like
Mm-hmm.
this kind of irregular flight,
Mm-hmm.
totally by the wind.
Yes.
Uh, I finally arrived at the like veteran sea level,
Mm-hmm.
quite far out,
Yes.
far from the action, and then I mean we kind of meet
Yeah, of course. And
head to head.
Houseman and Surface is right there, of course. That's not a surprise. Both of you knew where each other was. It's not hard. So, therefore, you do meet each other.
Yeah, this is bad.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have that much to add. I was more or less confused by all the things that I saw. What's your suggestion on how we enter this?
There are a bunch of entrances from the water. Not sure how easy that would be for you, but
Should be quite. You
You
could
seem-
probably
you seem
take him.
to-
You could take him safely.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, the suit
There
is
is-
probably.
I was going to say there is something else here as well.
Except from Bank Pension.
Yeah, but something that was connected to all of this that came up with the Vasa, some sort of relic or being that they have been experimenting on as well. So there might be another strange thing.
Oh, we need more of those, of course.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm also trying to okay, what did I learn from my latest encounters with Bengt Berntsson? He was able to alter the he could make things really heavy. Right? That was one of his
he certainly did that to himself, and you did not get a chance to see very much of his powers because he was too mentally disturbed. In game mechanics terms, he had his psychological situations triggered, and his and rage triggered, and it led to him being less tactical than he should be. But you also know that he strikes with these images, which literally have a piercing effect on the psyche and actually do damage. That these images strike and you see things about yourself and about him, and you also are damaged by them. You were not affected by them. He was unable to hit you with them because he kept missing in game terms. But that doesn't mean you didn't experience the power and know what it can do. So he connects his mind to yours, and those effects dive into your mind, images of your memory and your self-image and your fears and things like that start flying around all over the place, and you are taking damage from this. That's one of his primary attacks.
All right. So how? I mean, I'm basically trying to. What has changed since we met him the last time? I understand that my attack of my ego.
Right. What that did was weaken his force of will to a very, very low level, and he was able to express himself to another person for the first time in a very long time. And whatever contempt or hatred that he had for you, there was indeed this connection that was important to him. You have basically remotivated him.
Yeah.
And also given him and in some ways perhaps gave him a path back, because you found your path back to reality, and he may have been able to follow it. He was able to get there to some extent already, I believe we have already talked about how it was uh, his hunt, for the suit that had led him to reality before.
Yeah.
And so, but before that was almost he kind of kept searching for it. And when he got kind of a flash of where it was, he was able to go there, but he wasn't able to remain in reality. He wasn't able to fully enter it. Now he seems to be able to have done this. And of course, we know what his priorities are. And he is no fool. He went and found his old boss, and he said, we're back. Let's do this right. Sweden is obviously all fucked up. It's
I
time
have
to fix
one.
it, or at
I
least
got one.
represent its best interests, which we always have done.
Before we enter this, this like really this, I think I want to go back to the agents, and I need to visit. I don't. You can come along if you want to, but I need
I'm gonna
to put in.
go inside
Right.
and I'll get started.
Oh no.
And then you join me whenever you feel ready.
We can do it like that, but I think we really. I think we
already
should
did.
stick
Right.
together.
Can you count to 100 first?
I think, because
I'm not
what
gonna
I want to
redo
do,
that sortie.
Yeah. Right.
what I want to do is, first of all, I need to get some kind of. I want the layout of Karlsborg totally clear to me. I want that uploaded to the suit if possible, so there's nothing, no surprises in that case. The other thing I want is, this is a really an idea that I got now while being confused, is that for the first time, I think I want to use the Mickey Byström community to my purpose.
What an excellent idea. Yes.
That was actually when you talked about all the files that you had downloaded and the stuff you investigated. I was thinking WikiLeaks. I said you should just send the whole fucking package to him and see what happens. Just enjoy the chaos.
You mean his throat cut in 24 hours? Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Yes. How's that for drama? Come on.
Jeez. That's murder, Wolf. My God. Yeah. I mean, there's exposure of embarrassing information, and then there's no, there was no exposure of embarrassing information. You were mistaken.
But what I want to do is,
you can't ask the guy who said he had it, because he's gone.
Right. What guy?
So what you're saying is that there's like giving them too much information will put them in a lot of danger.
Absolutely.
But what I was thinking was, I mean, this is like a mini flashback. If you know flashback, you know that community. This is maybe it's inside flashback. I don't know. His special forum. But what I want them to do is, because Bengt Berntsson seems to be a really fucked up person, and is there anyone alive now that he has some kind of attachment to?
As a matter of fact, that's a very good point. And so, yes, you did get your detective work roll, so we can let that do the job. Basically, you want to ask a question about what's in there. And one thing that you will find, and it is expressed in his character sheet as a psychological situation. Incidentally, when it comes to psychological situations, he has a lot of those. And one of them is sentimental.
Yeah.
He is deeply sentimental about, as you might expect, it's not a particularly enlightened point of view, but he is very sentimental about ordinary life and the people of their ordinary lives who are happy And people like him keep them safe, of course, but they don't have to know, and they really should just be happy being who they are. And if that involves, uh, traditional ways of life or just professional ways of life, the people should not be unhappy. They should not be stressed. They should not be, made. But it's, and so there are specific people, there are specific places that he, like where he's from, and the culture, the neighborhoods that he comes from, and the general, uh, as he sees it, as he idealizes it, the secure way of life that needs protection. So he's
But
very sentimental about this.
okay, this is good information. But is there any while being inside this like the sphere and being like, is there someone that he has been thinking of? Is there
Right.
any person that
Right.
is
Well, there are the how am I going to put this? Given that sentimentality, there must be. There
yeah,
must be. And
but
so it's not, it would not be hard. The culture that he is thinking about, the people that he is thinking about, most of them are gone. But
yeah,
on the other hand, not everything. And so I am going to,
that
let,
was what I
so
wanted.
so again, the reason I'm not being specific is that
Yeah,
I don't have to be. It could be anything about the location, anything about the people. It doesn't even have to be a specific person. It could be somebody from that region. It could be pictures of that region. It could be any, reassurance that this way of life is still here. It could be anything of that kind. Now, as for where he is exactly from, um, I am thinking that he is, uh, you know,
Stockholm.
oh no, you guys are going to hate me for this. I had not thought about exactly where he is from, but he is, and it's nowhere near where you are, I'm sorry to say. But he is from the farms of Ustahusby.
And that is where's that?
I'm quite close to it. It is the shoreline that is east of, it's part of Östergötland,
Yeah, okay.
along the coast, and it is a deeply, deeply traditional area. The farms are exactly the way they have always been. The ranches are the way they have always been.
And Östra Husby.
Politically deeply conservative in Swedish terms, not in
Yeah,
economic terms. They are not like Stockholm and all capitalist and all excited about internationalism. In fact, far from it. They are deeply conservative, socially conservative.
yeah.
And the accent there is, even when I'm there, because my wife's family is completely scattered through there and then up the coast all the way to Katrineholm and then
Mm.
over across Kolmården. That's where, my wife's whole clan, we can go to churches and cemeteries through that entire area, and you're going to find a relative in almost all of them.
Yeah.
So